everyone. Welcome to the Truckery podcast. I'm your host, Devin with OBS Solutions. Sitting across from me is
John with Carrot Customs. And welcome back.
We have 0 topics today, people. We're just going to send it like we normally do.
I mean, we have a few topics.
Well, maybe a couple. I have some questions too, I suppose.
Yeah. I do have a story for you.
Let's hear the story. You've been saving this for a while.
I have. Because I knew it would be decent for the podcast. So, I bought the Excursion, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen this thing yet.
Oh, yeah. It's buried on the side of the house.
And it runs and drives.
Yeah. So Jesse and Tony went and looked at it for me. They actually, it was, it was in their area. I asked them if it would be something they'd be interested in doing, like bringing that down to pick up Jesse or Tony's truck. So they go and look at it and, call me and they're like, yeah, this thing supposedly it had 107,000 miles on it. And they're like, yeah, it's got some bumps and bruises. It doesn't really look like a 107,000 mile rig.
Like it looks worse or better?
Worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the brake pedals worn through, like lots of use.
Okay.
And so I basically told them, I'm like, I trust your guys' judgment. Like, I need it for product development. If it's going to be a good rig and you are comfortable driving it from Seattle to Central Oregon, then go for it. So they got it. And, they sent me all the detailed pictures of what, was wrong with it and funky. And all is good. Get it here. Stoked, and so after they leave, I wash it and pull it in the shop, and I'm just kind of going through things, and I'm looking at it too, and I'm like, man, they're right. This does not look like it has 107,000 on it, but whatever. So I plug my scan tool in. I'm trying to find, if it logged mileage, and it's a 2,000, I believe. And it did not.
Right. I don't think they would in those years.
Yeah. So then I just decided, I was just going through the glove box and I happened to find a receipt in there from 2022.
Okay.
That when the ignition switch was changed, because the key only works for the ignition, none of the doors, nothing. And the mileage was 357.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to ask though, but you found this on Marketplace?
Yes.
And that guy said, is he the original owner, you think? Or is he the owner that had the work done?
No, the owner died. And I have the death certificate. I have all the stuff. But it's like the cluster got changed out and then it went in for an oil change at a place that would report a Carfax.
Okay.
Because I got... it came with the Carfax and there was a recent oil change at 99,000 miles. I'm like, oh, well, that must be.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I find that and I'm just like, oh,
that sucks.
And it, the rig is what it is.
Right.
I was just hoping it was a low miles one that then if I, did put a Cummins in it or do something with it that, it's it still supposedly has this many miles, but now I know that it has probably 360,000 or something.
All right, listeners at home, remember this. If you are looking for a vehicle, no matter what the mileage says, bless you, John, look at the brake pedal.
Exactly.
If the brake pedal's worn through, Colin, that means it's got some miles on it.
And this is no fault to Jesse and Tony at all. They sent me all the photos, everything.
I cannot wait to give them some shit at the truck show. When they show up, I'm gonna bring a brake pedal pad in. I'm gonna buy one. And
they're the ones that pointed it out. I didn't even look at it, Yeah.
You're just hey, at least you could have put a new brake pedal on a pad before you gave it to John, so at least ease the pain.
Ease the pain. But yeah, so then I reached back out to this guy because supposedly he had the third row seat for it.
Okay.
And so I asked about that, never responded. Then I found the mileage. And so I was like, hey, did you know that this thing, had the cluster changed or rolled back or whatever? And I immediately got blocked. Found out the phone number that he was using was a burner number.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So he knew.
He knew.
If he knew, why would you leave the old registration in there or the old mileage indicator?
It was a receipt.
Oh.
It was like a service receipt that the shop had documented the mileage. Yeah.
What a D-bag.
Or he didn't know. So according to him, his father-in-law or somebody died. And so he was not charging. Oh, there we go. He was like selling it to that purpose.
It seems fishy.
Yes.
There sounds like a backstory here.
So to use a burner number and to block me as soon as I ask about the mileage, I'm like, you had to have known.
How do you, maybe a little, I've never, like, how do you get it? How do you know if it's a burner number?
It's fully disconnected. I tried calling it back. Wouldn't work. I tried on the business phone because I'm like, oh, if you just blocked my phone number, business phone doesn't work.
So it doesn't even like try to go to voicemail or nothing.
That number's not connected anymore. So it's like he probably set up like a Google Voice number,
right,
so that nobody had his like actual phone number.
Where'd they look at this excursion at?
It was like one of like
at the house, or
no, they met at like a Bass Pro Shop, in the Seattle area.
I got a good story. Speaking of this,
yeah.
Anyway, that sucks, but you have an excursion.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
It runs and drives, right, Tony? I mean, like those guys drove it all the way out here.
They drove it all the way down.
So, I mean,
I changed one ignition coil on it, and it runs great.
From this day on, you'll always look at the brake pedal and to see how worn it is.
Well,
it's a good indicator.
That was something they pointed out to me, and I'm like, that's fine, whatever.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The armrests are rubbed in too. It's fine. No big deal.
I really needed a product development rig, and I was just hoping to do more with it. And I guess I still could, but I just am worried that now, like with the mileage, it's not worth putting money into. And
well, I mean, all you're going to do is you're going to develop suspension for it, and then you're just going to send it. You're going to go, knowing you're just going to go thrash it out in the woods to see what it does.
Well, yeah.
So who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, like to me, I'd be like, all right, well, it's really not that nice. Even the dollar amount I paid for it, if it's low miles, like, oh, dude, I don't want to scratch this thing. I don't want to like thrash it. Like, who cares? Now you just go full send.
Just full send.
Yeah, who cares?
In an excursion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like at that point, if in my brain, if it's got 300K on it, it's like, dude, who cares about it at this point?
Yeah. It's just not worth dumping extra money into.
No, but it is worth developing a product for and then fine tuning it, thrashing it, making sure where the breaking points are, fixing that, buying another excursion.
Yeah.
And then making it badass.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
And maybe you can go down the road with like Kenny and love 6.0s, buy a 6.01 and just lick windows and put a bunch of money in a 6.0, find out you just should have come and swap it.
I don't think I want to do that. I'm not a 6.0.
That was my dig on Kenny for today.
Yeah, he needs it.
It's the white Oakleys.
Doesn't he wear white Oakleys?
Oh, I get it. As I said, he sent me. He was going through pictures and I found a picture of him sitting on a Banshee, and I'm like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Hat backwards, white Oakleys, and a Banshee.
Classic.
Oh yeah, totally classic. So the story of you went like they met him in a parking lot. I had a friend of mine selling a Jetta. I can't remember. It was like the 05 Jettas. And everyone, it was like the badass one, like which was the TDI or the sporty one, right? It was like kind of low to the ground.
Oh, is that the GTI or the GLI?
GLI.
I think that's what it was. I had like 20-inch wheels or 18-inch wheels on it for factory. It looked cool, right? For a Jetta, right? And he was like super shy. Right? This guy was like super shy. He's very withdrawn. And he was gonna sell this thing, but he met these guys at a parking lot, and he's like, hey, you want to go for a drive in it? And these two guys are like, yeah. And I don't know what possessed him, but he didn't get in the vehicle with him. And so he's like, okay, well, here's the keys. Go drive it. So you're thinking the guys take off, and he's waiting. And like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, he had to call his wife, come pick him up. They just took the vehicle and stole it.
No way.
Yes.
How did they get there?
One guy showed up. I don't know. They just got there, and he's like, yep. They just took off with the vehicle and never saw him again. Yeah, I had to call my wife, come pick me up.
Wow. That's funny.
Wouldn't that suck?
That would.
How'd you get your car stolen? They like pull a gun on you, they get a knife. Nope, I just gave them the keys, they drove off with it. That would suck as hell to your wife or the cops.
Yeah, no, it would, because it's like, well, Yeah, or your insurance company.
Oh yeah.
You know,
They pulled a gun on me. I had to give them the keys. I'm sorry.
I mean, I actually did that the other day.
You pulled a gun on someone?
No,
Oh.
no.
I was like, damn.
I sold my Jetta wagon, and these two guys showed up in their Jeep here, and I told them everything about the car. I tried to be as honest as possible. I'm like, this thing it's a turd, and they understood it. But I was like, you want to take it for a test drive? Hop in, go for it.
You didn't go with him?
No, because we're at my house and his Jeep is here, and I really don't care about the car. I would if it was something else, but after, I came inside and Trent's like, well, where'd they go? I'm like, oh, they're test driving it. She's like, you didn't go?
How do you know the Jeep wasn't stolen? They showed up in a stolen Jeep and they take your vehicle and take off with it.
I mean, is it really worth stealing a 280,000
They
mile
could have just
Jetta?
killed someone. They're on the lam. And they got to get the hell out of Dodge, and they need to flip a car.
That's true.
But you're in Central Oregon where everything's rosy here.
Well,
this isn't the valley.
They knew somehow they recognized the suspension on the trucks.
Okay.
And they knew what we do for a living. So I'm like, it can't be that bad. I swear.
Anyway.
I don't like talking about these things with you because last time we talked about my road trip, taking vehicles on road trips and how I don't break down. After that, I had 3 different instances of breakdowns on road trips.
I'm just here for you, John. I'm making sure that John gets from point A to point B safely.
So now I'm going to get stolen from at least 3 times.
Don't leave the keys in the cruiser.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't do that.
Well,
I mean,
it is a gated community. It is a gated community, like Colin said.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've done the same thing with selling cars.
Just let somebody go test drive it?
Here you go. I mean, they showed up in something.
Are you scared to drive with them? Are you scared to ride shotgun or something?
I feel like anytime I've test drove stuff and the person's with me, I feel awkward being the person that's with them while they're driving. I feel awkward in that. So it's so they have to feel awkward too. Well, so just let them suss out the car. If they've got questions when they come back, they can ask the questions and I can answer it. But when it's I don't want to sit in there quietly,
having to make small talk.
Yeah, trying to make small talk.
That is tough.
And then having to deal with how they drive, which could be absolutely horrendous. I don't want to be in the car with them for that.
Yeah, but what if they're actually just out there rallying your truck or car?
Well, I mean, I probably would.
Yeah. They got to see what it does, right?
I'm sorry, dude. I wouldn't want guys. Let's see how the burnout. Let's see how the 7.3 does burnouts, and they just I mean, I'm always the negative one, so I'll say, yeah, dude. I'll be no, don't do that. Yeah, I have to ride shotgun on that.
I would if I was selling a nice vehicle.
Yeah, okay. certain things. There's a
limit, dollar limit,
level.
A dollar limit.
There's
that's
that level where it's do I care? No.
A Jetta with 1 million miles has hauled nothing but parts and pieces back and forth from the valley. Yeah, I don't care.
I'm
go ahead.
It doesn't make enough power to break itself. And if they were going to break it, I've already tried, so it's going to be fine.
Colin brings up a good topic though. It is awkward riding in the vehicle when you buy or sell something, a truck in our opinion, and you have to drive and the customer is driving it and you're they're hearing noises or they're not hearing noises. They're asking you questions and you're like, ooh, dude, slow down. You're slowing down way too, oh, hey, make this corner here, turn left here. It is awkward. It is a little bit of a nail biter at times, depending on the person. Some people are cool.
Some are. And a lot of people suck at driving.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Just horrendous.
Or they brake late, or they turn in front of people, or
Yeah.
So I cut my teeth because I had to go for rides with customers in their car to hear noises or drivability concerns. So you're always in a vehicle with someone you don't know. And then it's the small talk thing. After you go for a ride and you're hey, they're hear that noise or it's doing this. And so my dad did that forever. And then when I started doing the diagnosing and stuff like that for drivability, I was doing it. And I remember dude, small talk sucks balls.
Oh, yeah.
It does, right? And especially this day and age, right? Because it could be political or it could be whatever, the best thing to do for small talk, I figured this out, is I always just do like weather, road condition, and traffic. Man, these roads suck, right? Or, man, sure is a nice day out. Or like, man, the traffic in this area is getting bad. And like, just build off of that. It's like the 3 things that will pretty much you can build off of. If they go, yeah, traffic is getting terrible. All these people are moving here. I can't believe it. You're like, great, I can deal with this person. I can talk to them. Or they go, oh, traffic's great. You know, it was so much worse in LA. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch, just move to Oregon. It's like the 3 things you could build off of.
That's when I worked at the fire department and we would have transports, you know, you'd take turns on who was like the guy in the back with the patient.
Oh, that'd be even rougher, right? Because someone's hurt or...
Well, I didn't mind so much being in the back with the patient because you're actually doing a job back there. But when you're the one driving and there's a passenger who was with the patient and they want to go to the hospital too.
Oh, that'd be tough.
So they're riding in the front seat of the ambulance and we would have like hour-long transports, you know? So you have to console them because they're, you know, the people they care about are in the back. And then on top of that, you like have to make small talk. And I found like after a while, I just like would start asking people about themselves. Because we all like to talk about ourselves the most. And once you get them rolling, I'm like, all right, sweet.
Get going. There you go. Like, hey, they're in the back. Use a defibrillator on the other family member. Like, just tell them about yourself, bud. Like,
close the back window.
That's definitely a different perspective for sure.
Yeah, you're not so much worried about like what the car's doing, but just having to ride with somebody that you've never met at all. And you're like, all right, well, here we go. Don't touch anything, please. Because there's buttons and screens and like stuff everywhere.
You know, that's I've never thought about that. And it would be tough because then you're like, was my family member going to die or this person that I was riding with? And like, dude, all this stuff.
There's some that are just totally like, we've dealt with this before. He'll be fine. Whatever. We're going to the hospital. And then some where it's like a minor thing and the person up front is like, are they going to die? Is this bad? Is it bad? I'm like, no. They're fine.
Wouldn't your go-to, if someone said, are they going to die? My go-to, being an asshole, would be like, eventually. I mean, like, could be today.
Yeah.
Could be.
The problem is you piss off the wrong person.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
And then they call your boss. Or they're like, you can't say that stuff.
Hey, you can't have a good time doing that job in the sense of when the public's watching.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally throw some of that out there.
You told that story where like these people come here and they were like, later in life, they were maybe smoke weed when they're younger, and then they start like these people come here like, oh, weed's legal here in Oregon, and they go to the dispensary and they get all ripped up, and then they think they're having a heart attack.
Oh yeah,
you told me that story how these older people do that
all the time.
It'd be comical at some point, right?
3 marijuana overdoses. I'm doing the air quotes here. In one night.
One night.
Yeah, it was like a holiday weekend, and you know, I think I've told this on here, but one guy took, you know, he got like an edible that's supposed to be cut up into multiple pieces.
Okay.
Just ate the whole thing.
Oh.
You know, like that will put you on Mars, you know.
But you're not going to die from it.
You're not going to die.
Right.
I had one guy, I legit, like, he's like, I'm having heart palpitations. So we go through the whole thing. We do a 12 lead EKG, check everything. I'm like, here's the paper. You're not having, like, you can look at the screen on the computer here on the monitor, like, you're not having palpitations. She's like, I think I need to go to the hospital. I'm like, we can take you to the hospital, but what you really need is to drink some water, get some snacks, and sit down and watch a movie.
Maybe like Rogan stand-up or something, or maybe a funny movie, like Dumb and Dumber.
And like 8 out of 10 times, I would say you're able to talk him off the ledge and get him to chill out. But this guy, no.
Not doing it.
Even like his friends knew that that's what he needed, but they're like, he wants to go to the hospital.
How old was this gentleman, you think?
Oh, he's probably like early 30s.
Oh, whoa. I was thinking like an older guy, retired guy. Like,
yeah. No, I've been on a lot of the retired folks.
Was this guy like an out-of-stater or was he a local?
Out of state.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. Most all of them are.
Like, hey, it's first time. I'm just going to go Great Guns.
Yeah.
I'm here for like a weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or for a concert or something. Yeah. Those are always fun. Or weddings.
Ah, the weddings. Yeah. I can see that happening.
loaded a drunk dude into the bride and groom's vehicle. He was passed out on the lawn. And they're like, yeah, we can handle it. He can come back and stay with us. So we like assisted him into the bride and groom's vehicle to go back to the house with them after the wedding.
Oh gosh.
It was like one of their best friends.
Well,
Like,
whatever. That's a memorable wedding night
good
right
for
there.
you guys.
All right. So I guess we better get some questions. Do we
Yeah,
have some?
I think we just have one.
Oh, that's it. No one listens to the show anyway.
Yeah, our numbers are coming up
Oh, that's good to go.
by posting consistently.
Weird. Weird.
It's
Being
so-
consistent.
That's incredible.
It's a shocker. It must be science.
Yeah. Wreck-It Rob says, I got a question for the next podcast. If you were on a budget, say like 10, I'm guessing 10 grand, what diesel would be best bang for your buck? 4-door, 4x4, reliable tow rig for 7K crawler.
Oh, the haul must be tow rig for hauling a 7K crawler. Okay.
I want to know more about the crawler.
That's a good point, but my question is like, are we talking like across the board? Like any make and model truck?
I think so. I mean, it is now the Truckery podcast.
Well, here's one for you. Do you have kids? There's some things that I always ask. Do you have kids?
Well, he says 4-door.
He said, okay, bring her back. Okay, 4-door. Okay, he did say that. Sorry. Okay. Because as I say, honestly, pound for towing without like a lot of shit is a 12 valve or common rail. But for 10K, what do you get for 10K?
For 10K, I mean, I don't know.
The market's not good for that 10K price range.
Especially not the diesel market.
No.
It would almost like a 7,000 pound crawler.
That's not much.
Is not very heavy.
No, but you have a trailer that pulls it. The trailer's going to be at least, probably let's just ballpark it at 3,000 pounds.
Okay, so towing 10,000 pounds.
Right. And are we living in the valley going to Central Oregon with a passover? Are you pulling a good size grade, or are you in Texas where it's just flat, or somewhere like that? There's some questions there.
There are. And I would say with a budget of 10K, if you're going to spend $10,000 on a diesel truck, you should also have another $5,000 minimum in the bank account for repairs. Because a $10,000 diesel truck is going to be, ran hard and put away wet numerous times. It's going to be somebody's used work truck.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of it needing an expensive fuel system or turbo or
just maintenance, steering and suspension stuff, ball joints, steering parts, repair. I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. I would say, 4-door, honestly, for this budget, I'd probably go with like a 24 valve Cummins.
You aren't getting a 4-door.
No, they don't make them. But an extended cab.
Yeah, you could do that.
It's going to be high miles.
But those things last forever.
They do. As long as the VP44's got a solid lift pump.
And hopefully it's a manual.
Yeah.
Because that'd be cool.
Yeah. That.
I can't think of anything else unless you do a gasser.
What about an early Super Duty 7.3? Can you find those?
You can't find those for 10K unless they got like 1 million miles on them. I know a guy bought an Excursion that supposedly had 100K on it.
That's a V10 truck.
Check the gas pedal. And I wouldn't do a V10 because all they do is make noise when you pull.
Yeah.
They don't go anywhere.
You know what gears are in it?
What?
430s.
What?
It makes it feel much more powerful.
I wonder how it tows.
I bet it tows okay with 430s.
Those are factory?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a plot twist. You know what? What about, for 10K, what about an OBS Chevy with a 454?
Right. That's what I was going to get
I think
to
those
next.
pulled. I think they pulled a little bit better than the 460, give or take. I hate to say that, but
460, it'll get the job done.
Is it Mass Air 460 or Eek?
Eek.
I think Mass Air did a better job.
Probably.
Okay, so Wreck-It Rob, I would say anything. I mean, you're right. You're going to need to spend some money after the fact of buying it.
And if you don't need a diesel rig, like, you're going to be money ahead getting a nicer gas rig.
Okay, here's one for you.
Cheaper repairs.
Right. Maybe a gas rig that you eventually switch over to diesel when you put money in the bank.
Right.
Okay, get your crew cab.
Get a crew cab with a 460.
Yep, a gas 460. Oh, amazing. We're going back to OBS Fords. I don't know why.
Crazy.
But like, get an OBS Ford, get a 460. It'll get you there. Lord, I know this shit. And it may not get you the fastest when pulling a grade, but you're
No.
not pulling that much weight.
I've hauled more than 10K with my 460 numerous times. It doesn't go fast, but it does it.
Yeah. And then eventually swap it out to a Cummins.
Yeah.
Put a Cummins in it.
Throw a 12 valve. And if you start with like a ZF5 truck, like a manual truck, then
Life's easy.
it's a lot easier if you want to do that conversion later.
Well, what's cool about that is that if you buy a truck, which there are a lot of gas 460 clean crew cab OBSs out there on Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can find one and they usually aren't too beat up. You could buy that truck and then if it's clean, you have a good foundation.
Yeah. Or you could get a clean V10,
You
V10
Ford?
Yeah.
I would do a 460 over a V10 Ford all day long.
Right. But if you want to go a little newer,
That's true. Yeah. The cabs are a little more spacious.
they are.
Yet you had better axles under the front end,
Yeah.
give or take a
depending.
unit bearing.
Yeah.
They weren't terrible though.
No, they're not bad at all.
Well, we just answered Rob's question then.
We have some note. Yep.
Oh.
Oh. Well,
Here we go. You know, I forgot we have a producer that does a job that we suck at.
Yes. So 2000. Oh, this is a 7.3 truck in Bend.
How many miles were on it? I can't even speak. I'm too we need to buy that.
Granted, this is an extended cab, but it's still a 4-door.
Technically, it's a 4-door, and it had more room than an OBS.
Okay, so description: F250 with 7.3 automatic XLT, power windows, seats and locks, interior's good condition. Flatbed with underbody boxes. If you're into wheeling, a flatbed's probably
The flatbed's rad, right?
Yeah, the flatbed looks pretty good.
Yeah.
With a gooseneck, like plenty of storage boxes. It looks quite nice. Aftermarket BD transmission, 15,000 miles ago. Okay, well, there you go. That takes care of like the major flaw.
Hey, Rob, we were really steered you the wrong way. This is the truck you need right here.
Yeah, this is it. 4x4, 20-inch wheels. Ooh. From a 2017 truck, comes with remote start, alarm, EGT probe, trailer brake controller, GPS, and DVD player.
Oh my gosh. Hey, did I forget? Did I miss how many miles are on this truck? Did it say? Is it scroll at the bottom there, Colin? Does it say?
209.
I don't think that's that bad. It could
For
be a
a
lot worse.
7.3 truck, that's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
No. I mean, that's that, and it looks straight. Doesn't look like it's beat to shit.
Yeah. Well, there you go. 10 grand.
Perfect. What else is out there for 10 grand, Colin? Let's see what Colin can do here. Ooh, check out that dually. Check out the dually down below there. You got an OBS dually. I'm sorry, it's got to. I just
22.5.
Oh shit, we just hit Rob's budget hard. Damn it. Sorry, Rob.
You have a tendency to do that.
I don't use the B word, budget or build.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get for 10. You know what? This right here, this 90. Since we're talking about this 96 F250 extended cab, like those are getting rarer and rarer. Far left,
Gladstone.
yeah,
Oregon.
that right there. Truck would be one to grab, clean up, and 4-wheel drive swap it because extended cab, short boxes, I feel like are freaking awesome, especially in 3/4 tons.
Yes.
And it's a diesel too.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow. Doesn't have 4 doors.
No,
They
and
fooled me with their picture.
check out the wheel color though.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Blue. And it says 5-speed transmission. Wrong.
Dude, that one right there, that 10K, that 07 F550 that was there, oh my gosh, that's not good. Bulletproofed. I love it when they say bulletproofed.
It says 4 broken studs.
Well, how bulletproofed is that? Is that only like partly bulletproofed?
That's under the budget, though.
But it says it's a cool truck. It says it's a cool truck.
Yeah.
In the ad, it says
This is a cool truck.
You know what, you guys? We are missing out when we sell stuff. This is a cool truck. It needs to be on.
That's
In the
how you
ad.
market it. In case you didn't know, let me inform you. Oh, there's a $200 head stud kit.
You just have to install it, and then it can be double bulletproofed.
Let's get on to that note. If you have to pull the heads on your 6-liter, don't buy the $200 head stud kit.
The one off of Amazon?
Yeah, or Alibaba or Temu. Like,
What could go wrong?
It's a major pain in the neck.
What could go wrong? I don't
Yeah,
see why.
Nothing.
Anything you buy off of Temu or any of that stuff's good quality, right?
Yeah, it's all the best.
That's actually a clean truck,
It's no 3.
and it's a V10.
It's a V10.
You know what? those look way easier to do Cummins swaps on than our OBS.
I've got mounts for them.
There you go. That's
They're
a good looking truck.
easy to do. Yeah, that right there, an 03. Bought this truck to be my tow rig. Been pretty reliable. No check engine light. DEQ and smog. 6.8 V10 performance improvement.
Oh.
With the upgraded heads, 1 ton. Had plans of putting a lift and wheels and
It
tires
looks
on
clean.
It
looks like it's kind of grandpa-ish.
Yeah, it's grandpa-ish. It's crew cab, long bed, white with a canopy. The updated mirrors, like 6.4 mirrors.
Yep. I always like that body style with the front grille and headlights looks a lot better than the early Super Duties.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good truck right there.
That is. How many miles?
It doesn't say. He did the classic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
123, 456 is a good mileage.
Yeah.
That's a solid mileage.
What are the odds that like that's actually what the mileage is?
I would run it
extremely low.
I'm gonna buy a low mile vehicle, run it to those miles, and then post it. And then when people give me shit for not posting miles, they're like, "It's right there, dumbass."
Take a picture of the odometer. It is 100%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I nailed it. Oh, a lot of come on, let's just look at the Dodge. Just go to the
quad cab or club cab.
Look at that thing.
Oh, this right here is
and
the
it's
truck.
a 12. It's 12 valve. Yes.
Salem, Oregon, 97 Dodge Ram 2500 club cab. No trades, 3/4 ton, 12 valve Cummins, new tires, 4x4, automatic, runs and drives great. And it's like a good color. It's white with the gray stripe and the red, but the classic Dodge paint. Wow.
Yeah.
Interior's clean.
Hey, whoever invented these stainless wheel well trim things should be shot, by the way.
Yeah.
Those things suck ass.
Yeah. I would agree.
They just etch the paint. They look like shit. That's a good looking truck.
For how much was this?
I thought it was $8,000 or $8,700 or $9,000.
$9,000.
That's not bad.
278,000 miles. That's really, honestly, that's not bad. It's probably had at least one transmission put in it.
Hey, the cool thing is this would be a great parts runner.
Oh,
You could run parts up and over like the hill
it's got
with that.
gauges.
Oh well, it's got to be cool then. And it doesn't look like it was too hood rat shit going on with it. You know what I mean? Like no one's gotten to it. No, it's all stock looking.
I mean, we could look at the pump and see
Yeah.
if the anti-tamper screws are still in it or not. Man, having to talk this much with like a little bit of a congestion.
We won't hold it against you, John. You know what? That's not a bad truck right there.
And that is a diesel that you can actually afford to
Give it some love.
Yeah, like, and if it breaks, like a set of injectors for that's $800 or $500. Like they're cheap.
I love the people that like really go to town like hating on the Cummins platform, especially the early 12 valve. Like with they're badass. I mean, they make great power for like pennies on the dollar. They last forever.
It's like the carbureted small block Chevy of the diesel world, except it actually makes good power and you can drive it over a pass without an issue.
Colin, you have to hit the $9,400. You're right, John, on that. The F250. If that seems too good of a deal. The killer fender flares.
Are those bushwhackers or no?
I'm not a fender flare guy, but I would assume so.
Ooh, it's a cruise short.
That's what I'm saying for that price.
Diesel. Wow.
That's minus the flares. And it's a decent. Wow.
248. Where it's in Montana. Does Montana salt their roads?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, this is $9,400 for a 96 Ford F-250 crew cab.
Ooh.
Auto.
It runs and drives nice, a little rust, pretty clean. When someone says pretty clean, that worries me. And the rust thing.
Yeah, rust is always concerning.
I'll still go back to the Cummins. I'll still go back to the Dodge.
Yeah. Depends on your location too. A lot of places, it depends, what you can find for that price range.
Yeah.
I can also say what I would stay away from.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I would probably stay away from 6 liters.
Yes.
I would stay 100% away from 6.4s.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
And if you don't have that extra $5,000 in the budget, on top of the $10,000 purchase price, I would stay away from LB7 Duramaxes.
Okay.
just because the likelihood of them needing a set of injectors,
That's going to be
if you
expensive.
do it yourself,
Yes.
even just the parts, it's about $3,000 plus or minus a little bit, depending on, you know, what quality of injector you go with. So I don't get me wrong, a good LB7 runs really well. And if the injectors were just recently done, it's got the fuel filter upgrade. And
But if you're going to spend $10K for it, you're probably getting something with a ton of miles on it.
exactly.
And it's going to be, you know, definitely road hard or have some miles on it that, you know, you're going to have to start replacing parts and pieces.
And they're much more expensive than like that 12 valve or a 7.3.
I know Rob wants a crew cab, but that Dodge extended cab would be the go-to.
Yeah.
That's or that V10 truck. That V10 truck would be pretty rowdy too.
Yeah. It's probably got 430 gears.
What was it Jeff Mackey said his dad was always doing when his dad was running the motorhome place, all those motorhomes had V10s, and I can't remember if it was a Banks exhaust kit. It was an exhaust system that he would put his headers and a piping system, and he said it made a world of difference in the motorhome world.
Really?
Yes, I'm pretty sure Mackey said it was a Banks exhaust kit. And they would throw that on all these mass, you know, because those motorhomes, like,
Oh, yeah.
they're all V10s, right? And they all just make a ton of noise when you're passing them going up the passing lane or
They're
terrible.
terrible.
Right. But I remember Jeff saying, yeah, my dad would do that on everyone that came in, and it made, like, those things woke them up.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So maybe this thing just needs some exhaust work, and that would pull your rig. And then if you really want to, if you love the truck enough, which it was cleaned enough, that Ford was very clean.
Yeah.
And it has a good platform, then you slam a Cummins in it, or you know, if you want to get ambitious, buy a 7.3 truck and a parts one and swap it over maybe.
Oh,
That'd be a lot of work.
just the wiring harnesses, having to change the dash harness and the engine bay harness. And
Okay, make it a Cummins then. But if you're going to do that, make a common rail.
yeah. Or a
So-
12 valve.
Or 12 valve, yeah, whatever you want to do. But
Slap
there you go,
12
Rob.
valve in there.
I think we nailed that question.
I want to know more about the crawler. Send us some pictures of your crawler on Instagram.
We don't care about your truck needs. We want to see the crawler.
Montana does salt their roads, by the way.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that
out.
crew cab may be slightly rusty.
Hence the price. Hence the
Yeah.
price. Maybe the bushwhackers were hiding all the rust around the fenders.
Oh, I bet you're right.
That could have been.
Yeah.
Is that the go-to for any place? Like just slap them on there when the rust happens?
I mean, if that was what I had to deal with, I guess I'd probably do the same thing.
If I lived in an area that was salt, like on the roads, I wouldn't buy a new car. I wouldn't have anything nice.
No.
I mean, you have something nice, but you bring it out in the summertime. But
And
like
that's it. Yeah.
that new cruiser, I just like screw it. Dude. We're buying something old
Or if it's just purely a tax
yeah.
thing, like
I would put no lift kit, no wheels and tires, just like
drive it.
just drive it and then rotate it to the next one.
Yeah.
Yep, time to get rid of it. I can see through the rockers.
Gosh,
That would suck.
it's terrible. I went to Iowa once to do a pre-purchase inspection on an ambulance we were having built, and the guy picks us up. They treat you really good
Okay.
when you show up for these because you're spending like $300,000, on an ambulance.
That's a going rate for an ambulance, huh?
Yeah, on the lower side.
Oh.
3 to 5. Cabin chassis and then the box built out, the whole thing.
Make sure
all
you have a good
different
slider. I want to
suspension.
spend extra money on the slider so I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
hear the family member can't hear the person in the back.
But he picks us up, and apparently the dude's got 2 Duramaxes, and he picks us up in one, like in his like nice OG one, and it has like under 100,000 miles. It's like an LBZ, an early one, but all the fenders are rusted out. I think it had like 65,000 miles. It was his nice truck, and it was all rusted.
That would suck.
Interior was still clean, and nice. And like, you can tell he kept the truck painted, or like not painted, but like the
Clean.
paint was clean and everything, but still rusted out fenders and rockers.
I saw when we were in Kentucky about 6 years ago. We were on stop and go traffic. New Tacoma, brand new Tacoma. I mean, at that time it was a newer Tacoma, like in that era, and it was the rockers were starting to rust out. You could see, I was like, that would suck ass.
Horrible.
It must be like a common thing. Like around here, you have to replace rock chips in your window. There, you have to replace rockers all the time.
I'll take windows all day
They probably
long.
have them like ready on the shelf. Like, hey, I need my rocker replaced. Oh, bring it back in here. We're
Just-
it's a standard deal.
Yeah, but then every piece of suspension hardware, like you don't work on those rigs without a cutting torch.
I think it just it would make me want to move. I don't care how much family I have there. I don't care like my job there. That would stuck enough that I would have to adios.
Yeah, I would too. I've said if Oregon goes to Salton Roads, I will probably move.
Were they talking about that?
The de-icer that they use already is like has me a little like.
Supposedly that's not corrosive. I've heard that time and time again.
Supposedly,
so, but I haven't seen any vehicles that come in that are subject to failure because of that.
No, but like it's corrosive enough where like I wouldn't drive a rig with polished weld wheels. And get that on it.
You wouldn't do that. But I know the state police, when they brought their car, when we were working on their cars, they would be up on the pass all the time, and it would come in. It's like a film, right? You could like,
yeah, you can see the film.
It. And I remember going like, okay, we're gonna, and the paint always. I mean, not that they were taken care of, but I never saw anything flaking off. You never saw, it like
eating cancer.
Yeah, you never saw that, but maybe they weren't long enough lived to see that. But you didn't like look up under a chassis and go, oh, I can see where it's etching the frame, or you kind of notice that shit.
Yeah.
So maybe but what is that de-icer? It's
mag sulfate.
Mag sulfate. It's right. So, I mean, it's a question.
That was always. I don't know why this podcast I've referenced fire department so many times, but
because you worked there for a while, maybe I don't know.
We had to keep all of our rigs our chief really loved like polished diamond plate and polished Alcoa wheels.
I thought that's a thing with firefighters.
Oh yeah, but in the wintertime, you're running chains on them and like going through all the nasty stuff. And it just instantly, that mag sulfate, like takes the shine off of everything. Like not bad, but just like you spend all this time polishing and then you take it out on one call.
And then you have to do it again.
Well, they want you to. Like, I'll hose that thing down and just wash it. Not polishing in the winter anymore. Hell no.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So I got a question for you boys.
Okay.
We're talking, my sons and I were watching, I think we were watching the Furiosa Mad Max movie, right? I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Is that the new one?
It's the newest one. It's not as good as...
Don't watch it.
Uh-oh. It's not as good, huh?
It's so bad.
They use so much CGI in it.
It was terrible.
Where Fury Road, they didn't, right?
Yeah, because the original concepts of this. I'm sorry, I'm going to be very adamant about this. Because
I can go down the road with you on this one. Go ahead.
His whole theme, the director, George Miller, was practical effects.
Yes,
that was the point, and he didn't have the money on the first movies to be able to make.
Wait, first movies being like Road Warrior, Mad Max,
the originals.
Okay, the OGs, yes.
To like properly do like practical effects to the level that he wanted to. So then when the new Mad Max came out, Fury Road, he finally did. And it was like perfect because all those cars are real. All that like everything that they did, all the stunts, that's all real. And then they do the Furiosa thing and it's just a bunch of freaking CGI and weird shit going on. And it just, and really, the movie itself was not good either.
The premise wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst, but Colin's right. Dude, they put a ton of CGI. And I remember my sons and I, we were sitting in the movie theater, and even my oldest looks over and goes, well, that looked cheesy. When you see the 6-wheel drive tow truck, which is a monster truck platform, it goes up the hill, and it's like totally fake. It was sucked. Anyway, the reason we got off a tangent here. The reason I mentioned this is because I was thinking my kids and I were watching it again. We were just killing time.
Yeah.
And I was like, the boys and I love watching that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, man, what movies changed you and manipulated you as a young male to love the off-road or truck or car scene? Like, for me, I'm a lot older than you boys. Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a classic, but Cannonball Run. I loved Cannonball Run movies. You guys probably never seen them. It was cool. But then you had, your genre has Fast and Furious, which I can't stand those movies.
I can't either. I've watched, well, I watched them up to a certain point, and then I have no idea where they're at now. They've gotten so yeah, it was for a while. I'm like, well, I remember when these came out, and watching them, so I'll keep up with them. And it just got to the point where I'm like, this is completely
crap.
Yeah, garbage.
It's terrible. Yeah, but I was thinking like the movies that like I always go back to for like cars and truck stuff that as like a go-to. Mad Max still is like top 10 for me. Like that's a good movie, especially like I think Beyond Thunderdome, because they actually had like real monster trucks and stuff, and like the vehicles were a little cooler back then. But like I was thinking, man, how many people like you watch these as kids, be it The Fall Guy, you guys are too young for that, but like you watch those movies and it was a pickup truck. You know,
Right.
there's a truck in it and it kind of based itself around it. But then you had like a whole genre around cars. You realize that? Like you had like Knight Rider,
Yeah.
pure crap, right? And then you had like the A-Team, it was about a van. They were always in a van, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then so
I
and
love
then,
the A-Team van.
right? How could you not?
Yeah.
It'd be cool lifted.
It would.
And so then I think you have these like I was thinking, man, there's so many. We grew up in, at least for me, you grew up watching these shows, and it was a lot of times based around a vehicle. I'm a big Miami Vice guy, like the early '80s one. It was about a car, right? He's always in the Ferrari.
Testarossa.
Yeah, and the first one was a phony, right? You know that the first one was a Corvette modified to look like a Ferrari, whatever that early Ferrari is.
Oh, like the Dino.
I guess so. It later came out that they couldn't afford the real car, so they took a Corvette and made it look like that. And the Ferrari got found out, and they gave him a car, supposedly. Is what I read.
Nice.
That's when he got the Testarossa.
Okay.
But it's always about a car. So it's like, dude, how many people, what movies to our listeners really like hit home on building or like changing you to a car culture, truck culture type of person? Not everyone, but there were several.
Right.
And maybe it's semi trucks like Tanner, Smoking the Bandit. Dude, that kid, Tanner would watch Smoking the Bandit, I think 3 times a month.
I love that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or what was the other one? Convoy. He'd watch that and like, we tried, like, I sat down with the boys like, okay, we'll watch this. Tanner says this is really good. And I couldn't get through it all. It was so bad.
What's the one with the semi truck that's got the like goblin mask on the front?
That's a staple too. Why am I blanking on this one? Oh, it's Emilio Estevez. Oh, this is one Kenny and I talk about all the time. I'm having a brain fart. It's have you ever seen it? What is the name of that? It's oh shit. The truck said Crazy Town or Crazy Toys.
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive. Thank you. Have you ever seen Maximum Overdrive?
I have not.
What? Holy shit! This is a staple,
seen
dude.
a lot of like older movies.
Okay, Maximum Overdrive. The premise is that I think it was an alien ship crashes and turns all the vehicles, anything mechanical, into a living thing.
Okay.
And so it was Emilio Estevez working at a truck stop, and all the semi trucks come to life.
Is it like Transformers?
No. They don't. No, they're just like driving around killing people.
No, it's like the Christine
Yes.
type thing.
That's
Like,
another.
where
That's another one.
a car has its own like life, but it's a
Right.
car still.
It's still a car. It's not like
Yeah.
transforming anything. So it's really creepy. I think it might have been a Stephen King. Was that a Stephen King? Yes.
Yeah, director Stephen King.
Wow.
So it's really, it's an 80s thing, so it's not the best, for
Yeah.
visual effects, but the truck was a truck that maybe Colin can find a picture of it here. The truck had a goblin face on it because it was a toy. It was delivering toys or something like that.
It's just super creepy.
Oh, 100%. And it was like the ringleader, right? Let's see if Colin. There it is, right there. And I think
Oh my gosh.
Yes, Happy Toys. That's what it was.
Maximum Overdrive.
You have to watch that movie. It is worth watching and stomach through it. It was good, dude. It was a staple in my time.
I need a list of classic movies to watch.
Another one was what was the early Harrison Ford movie? Young Kid at Work. It's his favorite movie. Harrison Ford. It's a Ron Howard movie. Early. Oh shit! What I just had it on my brain. Anyway, and it's all the 1940s. What is that, Colin?
Oh, American Graffiti?
American Graffiti.
Yeah.
That's a classic movie as well. Have you ever seen that one?
Nope.
Oh, that's a good one.
So the Campfire Passport podcast,
Okay.
we literally just a few episodes ago, we did this with like a group of us. So episode 62, it's called the LA River is what the title is on that one. And we just went through like our top 5 most like effective cars in movies.
I didn't watch that one yet. Okay.
Is what we did. And so one of mine, which is kind of a sneaky one that like really got me into 4x4 stuff,
Okay.
was Dante's Peak.
I've never seen that.
So Dante's Peak is Pierce Brosnan,
Okay.
and it's kind of like they kind
Wasn't
of
it
based
cheesy?
it loosely around like the Helens
Okay.
explosion, but he's got a square body Suburban that has a snorkel. And at one point he fords a river, and that's what like sold me on, dude, 4x4s are cool. Cause I was like, I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And just like, and he just dives it into this river because the bridge is out or whatever. And like, he's going across, he's got a couple passengers, and then some other cars decide that they're going to do it. And they come down in there, and like, there's a clear and present like comment that he makes like, oh God, are we going to make it? Like somebody in the car is like, oh, are we going to make it? And he's like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. And then like they're asking about the other cars, and he's like, they won't make it. They don't have a snorkel.
Hey, do you think the director had money in the snorkel business?
Yeah, right.
Like, snorkel salesman through the roof.
Snorkels.
Another one. That's a good one, Colin. Another one, Dazed and Confused.
Yes.
That's a car movie, even though like
yeah.
that's a great car movie.
All right.
Dude, the short wide Chevy in that thing, the C10 that's in it is amazing. And there's a glimpse of a bump side that was all black with all. I mean, it was cool. That's a great movie for that too.
Yeah, I really like that. As far as a modern car movie that I absolutely love is Ford versus Ferrari.
That was a great movie. That was
I've
good.
watched that probably 15 times.
I like the movie Ronin. The Audi that he was in.
Audi S8.
That was a sick car.
Really?
Yeah, because he
Is it a
spec'd it out.
D2?
Yeah, because it was in Europe somewhere, and he goes, the driver needed an Audi that could do a certain thing, and they actually did a good job, don't you think, Colin? On like specking out like the description. Some car movies just suck, right? They just right. It's almost like as a dirt bike guy, you watch Terminator 2, and the kid's transmission must be as wide as like this room. He's just shifting gears the whole time.
Oh yeah,
but
that's the thing, that the special effects, or when there's a movie that has like an obvious, whether it's an electric car or something else, and then you hear exhaust sounds.
Oh,
and you're like, whoa, those don't go together.
Isn't like these people are paid millions of dollars to direct or whatever?
Oh yeah,
do you check that out?
Yeah.
What's the car on the left?
It's a Citroen.
Oh, those are ugly. That's an ugly car.
Isn't that a French car?
Yeah.
I like the old Citroens. That we got here. There, have you driven out to
like the
Warm
2CVs?
Springs?
Oh.
And you see that guy has like
the 4-door ones?
Yeah, with the long hood.
Mm-hmm.
They look very Jaguar-esque.
I don't know if
I can't think of what they are, but I do know like one of the weird things about them is they have a single connection to the steering wheel. So, it comes out of the column and only goes to one part of the steering wheel. Like it doesn't have like a center to it.
Weird.
That like goes out like a tri-spoke wheel,
right.
like a Nardi would have, 3 spokes. It has a single spoke that goes out to the steering wheel.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah,
Styling wise, Citroen had a lot of really cool stuff. Like the rest of the car wise.
Yeah.
Not so much.
It's kind of like a DeLorean. Like styling wise, a DeLorean looks rad.
Yeah. Have you seen the new Hyundai concept that looks like a combination of like an old school Audi Coupe Quattro and a DeLorean made love? Let me see if I can find this.
That'd be an interesting weird.
Dude, it's way better than I thought it was going to be.
And it's a Honda what?
Hyundai.
Oh, Hyundai. Those cars are actually coming on strong, right? You see more and more of them on the road every day.
So, John, just as a side note for your like of Ford versus Ferrari, did you see that there's another one coming out, Race for Glory?
No.
And it's the Audi versus Lancia rally, Group B rally.
Yes.
Who's doing the movie? Anyone good?
So it is. Let me pull that up. So directed by Stefano Mordini, who I have no idea. I've never heard that, but
that's a cool car.
And I know some of the people in it like by face, like I've seen them before, but I don't know their names like at all.
And what was the title?
Race for Glory.
Race for Glory.
Audi versus Lancia.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That was a good movie, by the way. That was a rad movie.
Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah.
That was pretty damn good.
Yeah, the way they put it together, I liked it a lot.
What was a good car movie was that Baby Driver.
Yeah.
I mean, it has cheesy, but like they didn't like cheese it up on the driving scenes. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't like
I enjoyed it.
It's no Bullet. It's not like the OG Bullet, but
no. And what was he driving? Like an
The
Evo?
first scene, it was a WRX.
WRX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But they kind of got it. They kind of big super guy over here to the left.
Yeah.
By the way, Colin, did you see what I rolled up in today? Did you see that bad boy out there?
Is-
No, I'm not going to sell that to you.
was-
It's mine. I am not selling that at all.
it was funny. Like I'm glad that the Land Cruiser took my attention because I was going to make a comment about a lifted Subaru being here when I showed up.
Oh my gosh.
It's got a rock crawler mode. It's a freaking amazing machine. All right, do not make fun of that thing. It's awesome.
It is. That's funny.
Oh, I love it.
What about Dust to Glory?
Great movie.
As far
That's a life changing event right there. That's
And-
like
the second one,
they both were good.
yeah,
They both were awesome. I think the older one's cool just for the nostalgic. Like you're watching people ride those bikes in like those bikes had zero travel.
and Mario Andretti's in it.
Yeah, but then the second one with Mouse McCoy, I think it was.
Yeah.
If I got it right, like doing that solo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even understand, how gnarly that is. And then you look at stuff like Dakar Rally right now, and you look at like last year or a year before Andrew Short, which, he's a retired supercross rider, motocross rider. He goes out and does Dakar, and he comes on podcasts and talk about it. It sucks, dude. That would suck to do that as a, like, hey, I'm going to do Dakar. See you
Yeah.
later. Let's go. Like what he went through and the environment. That's gnarly stuff.
Yeah, Dakar is super cool.
You know what? Speaking of trucks, though, we're going to go back to trucks. I would love to know the ins and outs of those Russian, I would call them like a mega truck, or what do you call those things that race those things?
The big trucks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
like
told
the
that's-
rally semi
Yes.
trucks.
Yes.
I was told those are only Russians that do that shit.
Really?
Yeah, like it's Russian money that does that. I don't know if that's true or not,
I cannot confirm nor deny.
but it is the coolest thing
But
when you.
it's a very Eastern European thing. There's a ton
What is it
of
called?
like off-road racing series that are with those giant trucks.
Well, have you seen them? Like, okay, people, if you listen to this podcast, like I said before, check this out. These off-roads, they're not semi trucks.
They're
They're
Dakar trucks.
but like you watch them go through turns and like and over like hit a dry riverbed. They take it like a champ, almost better than a standard trophy truck at times. Yeah,
they're-
those right there, dude. They're awesome looking.
For some reason, when I use my computer, you can really hear it through the headphones, but
That's okay. We don't care.
whatever. Yeah.
Look at that. Who would have thought a truck like that could do that?
Yeah, they're so cool.
I wonder what size shocks they're running on.
I wonder
that.
how they cost. Are we talking like that's 200 grand, 400 grand?
And they're 3-seaters.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. The
They-
steering wheel's in the middle?
No, it's two side by side, and then there's a middle guy, and he sits like kind of stadiumed back slightly.
Why?
It's pretty funny. It's space, but it is.
They are so cool.
Yeah, they're such cool trucks.
That would be something I would love to own.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, I'm going to go down and roll through traffic, just like,
Dude,
move
look
people
at
out of the
this
way.
one on beams. Nah, maybe not beams, but
So, okay,
all drooped out.
Colin, you're a Mad Max nerd, it sounds like. All right. Did you ever see in Fury Road, because they were using real vehicles with real drivetrains, did you ever see, like, the war rig, what it's made of? How, the underside of it is done, like, how it's a European semi-truck or like one of these, but they don't even use normal axles. It's a tube, and then off those tubes come the axles. You ever seen this shit?
No.
God, look up war rig powertrain, and they'll show the underside of it.
Mhm.
And the concept that these semi trucks have over there aren't like solid axles and stuff like that. A lot of times, I think it's like this whole CV axles off this whole tube system, and that is like almost like your frame, if you will.
Really?
Yes, and that was
And that's like what, like the Scandia trucks,
something like that.
and
Yes,
the-
because I remember when that movie came out, we were like geeking out on like, check out this this vehicle they have, and I'm like, well, that's weird. Is it like I don't see a solid axle underneath it. It's not
Right.
not like something we'd see here in the States.
It's a Czech truck.
That's right.
So it's
Starts with a T.
78-foot 18-wheeler based on a Tatra.
That's right. Tatra.
T815 all-wheel drive truck.
Okay, so look up Tatra power or drivetrain or pictures of how that is.
This is a Tatra.
Yeah, see how okay, so that makes sense. See why see how the tires are like a TTB?
Yeah.
Okay, so look up the if we can Google and find how they do their suspension, it's mind blowing how this works.
Tatra truck suspension.
There
I
it
need to
is.
share this on the old. I don't know if we need to continue reminding people, but this is video now.
Let me
Big
cut that
bump.
over.
And wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Whoa. So your ring and pinion are, oh my gosh. Why? Just show me the big picture. It's very interesting. I want to see it like zoomed in.
Can you go back to their picture yet? Oh, maybe they'll do it. There you go. Isn't that a trip?
And so they have a tube.
Where your drive line, technically that'd be your drive lines going to your front and your rear axles. And then you notice how it's almost like an RC car where your transfer case is up top, right?
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah.
So your engine output is going into that.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
That is.
It's a whole nother spin on how you make a drivetrain.
And your ring gears are pivoting
Yes.
on. Wow.
So would that be less moving parts, so to speak, right?
I don't know, man. How do you set up your gear latch on that?
Well, isn't that 2 ring and pinions? Look, it's
Yeah.
got 2 ring gears.
2 ring gears.
I hope people are watching this because if you're just listening to it, it probably
gonna
sounds
make no sense.
no sense at all.
But if you look up the Tatra, Tatra truck,
pictures.
yeah, pictures
Illustrations.
or like suspension design, it'll blow your mind.
Wouldn't that wear tires goofy like a TTB if it's not set up? How do you set that up for like even for your
Yeah, I mean,
your camber?
it is essentially like a TTB. It's not an A-arm setup, so they're
Right.
fixed.
What a trip though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It says principle consists of a central load carrying tube with independently suspended swinging half axles bolted as one whole. That's how they describe it.
And I bet that's an old system. That looks like it has rear steer right
yeah,
there.
it was a military concept previously.
Oh.
And they're probably still using it, maybe.
1983 to 2023.
Holy crap!
That's
Isn't
how
that
long
cool?
it's been used.
That's
That's
crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, it looks like a nightmare to work on.
Oh my gosh.
I just thought it was kind of like Justin and I at work were like, how did they build that truck on that movie? Because it looks so weird. The drive or the suspension.
Yeah, so it says it's a backbone chassis is how it starts, which means so that whole center piece is the chassis of the truck, basically.
Well, there was a picture of it with a chassis, like a frame, kind of around it, just for yeah. See right there.
Yeah, which is to put
Yeah,
your
put
body,
your body
and
on.
whatnot
Yeah.
on. But yeah, the central piece of the chassis, which is the drivetrain, essentially, that is the frame.
Wow.
What a trip, huh?
Yeah.
We think we like know. Oh yeah, I've seen all these suspension stuff, and then you like stumble across that. You're like, oh wow. And okay,
Yeah.
speaking of TTBs, I was told, and I'm not an expert on this, early TTBs had 2 differentials in the front.
There were
What-
some.
Was it a conversion? Was it a?
I think it was a conversion. I've seen that before, like in vans or.
I want to say it was. I was told it was an Avant. So it's a TTB. And instead of having 1 differential with a stub axle that goes to the other side, it was 2 differentials with 2
Yes.
drive lines. I only heard about this months ago.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of one once, and I can't remember what it was, but I think it was an aftermarket thing.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. I just think like that makes, I would love to see that. Imagine working on
Well,
that. Like, hey,
there's,
oh, there you go.
but that
Well,
doesn't look original. That's
So, I mean, it's just a forum,
Oh,
so it's
yeah,
hard
there
to
you
say
go.
what exactly he's got going on.
I don't know what
here.
that guy's going on there. That
yeah,
seems really
he's
weird.
running dual transfer cases.
Why would you do that? I wonder. What's the?
I don't know.
That's-
Well, it would. That's why you do it, because
of
you
that
don't
angle.
have a pivot point in the center. Because that's where the TTB 4-wheel drive, has an issue by having
Oh,
one
that's
diff
right.
is
Okay.
that center joint
Right.
maxes out.
Yeah, because you can't get that makes sense.
So you run 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then you run 2 transfer cases. One's divorced, and you got driver and passenger drop, and then you could have unlimited wheel travel essentially, because
I think steering linkage would like limit you at some point.
well, yeah, steering linkage. There's other limiting factors, but axle shafts wouldn't ever.
Right.
But it would have to. I wonder then how it would work. You would basically always. It would act as if you always had a front locker.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense to, but I don't know. That's a weird one. That's a interesting that some guys do.
That's another rabbit hole.
Yeah,
that's a deep rabbit hole.
Good for that guy for trying to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At that point, it's like, do you really need that much travel and 4-wheel drive at the same time?
I feel like someone like drank a lot the night before, had this weird idea, did some purchasing on Marketplace, half lit, and then like all the parts showed up. It's like, well, I guess I gotta do it now. I have all the parts here, might as well make this happen.
Yeah.
Or it was a bet and he lost the bet.
Or somebody just has an extra time on their hands.
What would that be like?
I don't know, man.
Would you rather have more money or more time?
I would rather have them both. Because
no, you only one
if
of the
I
other.
had more time on my hands, I would need more money to do the projects that I wanted to do.
It's a damn paradox, right? But technically, if you had more time on your hands, you could generate more revenue with different ideas.
Yeah, that's how I ended up right now with no time.
So it's just like this ongoing thing.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, it's
Colin, how about you? Time or money?
I feel like with money, you would have more time because you wouldn't necessarily have to be doing other things to get the money.
Unless you're
that takes up time.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Unless you're like us, like squirrels. You're like, well, I have money. I'm just gonna buy some more stuff to put together. And you're like, man, I don't have any time. I don't have these vehicles put together, or this idea, or to build this house, or whatever. I need more time.
It's where do you want to spend the time?
That's
what it turns it into.
There you go.
Yeah, and time's the only thing you really can't buy.
No, I think I'd go with time. I think I'd go time over money.
Yeah.
More time with my kids, time with my wife, more time to do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel like you can always make more money technically.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
but if you had money, then again, you would have more time because you wouldn't have to spend your time.
As long as you don't do stupid hood rat shit, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
There
it is. Don't spend money on having 15 fancy trucks
or project stuff or like house renovations or whatever.
Then you would have
like if you had the money to get you one of those Dakar trucks that we're talking about, which says tens of millions of dollars.
Tens of millions.
What? That's what it says. If you have like when you Google, you're like, hey, I'm just like looking at a budget for this like Dakar truck. What are you thinking here? Tens of millions.
I mean, just the entry fee to get into the Dakar for that is it can range from 2,500 to 35,000 euros.
How's it go from that? That's a big swing, isn't it?
It's probably the size of team and like, how many trucks and what kind of support you're going to get.
So, sir, how many helicopters are you using on this one? Oh, yeah. I'm using 2. I didn't bring the third one.
Yeah,
you didn't bring
a road legal Dakar truck costs around 1.67 million.
Okay, I take it back. I'd rather have more time. I'd rather have more money than time.
I mean, yeah. That makes a trophy truck seem like a cheap investment.
Yeah, that's child's play.
That's child's play.
Colin, can you tell me, are the teams Russian? Maybe I heard that wrong from someone. Does it say anything about that?
It's because it's the trucks themselves.
Okay.
Are typically Eastern European.
Okay. All right.
That's what it is. And like I said, there's tons of huge like 6x6 off-road competitions and stuff, and it's all Eastern Europeans. Like that is their niche.
Would that be cool to watch one of those events?
It's all over YouTube. There's some gnarly stuff that they do in these giant trucks. They've got like a spotter that's in the passenger seat, and then the driver, and they put these things in spots you wouldn't want to take your like wheeling rig. It is crazy.
I'm about to look at it on YouTube.
That'd be fun to make a trip over there and go like to a few different like vehicle events.
Yeah,
in
you're right.
Completely different
world, part of the
world.
Yeah, you're not going to see. I think it'd be kind of cool to see. I'd love to see the Isle of Man, regardless.
Oh yeah,
That would be like, that looks like one of the events. Like, man, you know, that would be a life changing something to watch. That
the amount of motorcycles too. I went to the Isle of Skye, and another couple areas, but like big, fast, modified bikes, and everybody wearing leathers that you see in that area is insane. Like, there's dudes, chicks, all together,
just motorcycles everywhere,
and you get your doors blown off driving around like Scotland and Ireland, like by groups of massive.
You think the
street
weather
bikes.
would be very fun for that type of stuff?
No,
guess-
but when we were there, it happened to be like not rainy and
Okay.
pretty nice weather, and it was just bikes
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Wow.
And it was either, you know, your like adventure bikes.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Dual
KTM.
sports.
Yeah, like
Or
the the more, what do you call those?
the bigger ones are venture bikes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it was either that or it was full blown like crazy crotch rockets.
Wow. Well, you know, I'm sure that in every part of the world there's something cool to see. We just don't get out very often to see that stuff, you know, like you have. But yeah, I mean, those trucks, back to those off-road trucks, those just look so gnarly to watch.
Yeah.
What size tires? Does it say what size tire they're rocking, Colin? I mean, those
I can
things
look it up.
like 54-inch Michelins or something.
I just wonder how they don't fall over.
They look top heavy.
Yeah.
But I saw one where the back got blown apart and it was just a skeleton back there, just for like advertisement stuff. So maybe there isn't. But yeah, the cab's tall.
Yeah.
It's a 53 1620.
That's a hell of a tire. What do you think that
That's-
tire weighs? Dude, that's got
A lot.
200 pounds.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. And
Or more.
that's pretty cool.
Those would be fun.
Oh, well, what are we doing? How are we doing on time, Colin?
Doing all right.
You're right at your
Well,
proposed number.
proposed.
Yeah.
Well, what's on the docket? Do we have anything else? Oh, we know what we got to do before we end this show.
What, some marketplace?
Hell yeah. We got to do some marketplace moment.
Okay.
I wish we were fancy enough to have like a jingle going into marketplace. It was like,
Trin listens to one of these podcasts, and the guy's like an ex-radio host,
okay.
and he's always like, he'll say something, and then it's like, you know, like
Sounder for everything.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel like, I love
Okay.
just the natural.
I want a jingle that's white trashy. What would be a white trashy jingle? I feel like a trailer park door opening scream.
Like a crushing beer can.
2-stroke 250 winding up.
Yeah.
That would be our jingle.
So that particular tire, 342 pounds.
Wow.
And there's 6 of them. Imagine the rolling resistance on that thing.
I wonder how much, just the power. Which one of these do you want to do? We've got you sent me 3 for marketplace.
Let's see here.
This one's 95 or
Either one, that one right there is pretty cool.
okay.
I got to text Lisa. I forgot to leave with the dog leashes.
Oof.
I'm a deep shit.
There's some ratchet straps in the
That's
garage.
a telling her. I'm telling her there's rope in the garage. That F-150 or that'd be a F-100, I believe, in that year.
Why is it not showing me anything? Loading. Here we go. I'm really confused by this one. It's listed in Eugene, Oregon as a 1984 Ford Aspire hatchback 4-door.
Yeah, we don't worry about that.
Okay.
Don't worry about that at all. I'm just saying, like, check out like the pictures of this thing and the old school pinstriping. And how many times do you see a flare side in this body style?
I've never seen one. So it's probably a 1984
Right.
because it's a bull nose. It's black F-150 with like red and pink.
It's like a pinstripe, but it goes all the way around. It goes on the flare or the flare side, because the flare side, step side or flare side, whichever one you are. And that would be a truck to like slam on the ground.
Oh yeah,
That would be so cool.
that would.
And bullnose trucks, man, they are awesome. There's something about a bullnose truck that's hard not to love.
I don't like the interior.
No, the interiors are kind of derpy, and the dash is always crack, and the panels, we've said this before, flake, the plastic flakes off. But that right there, the body is pretty cool.
Yes.
And it's got a little V8 in it. Nothing gnarly, but it doesn't look all hacked up.
No,
You know?
this thing's pretty dang clean.
For that price, how could you get hurt?
Yeah, how much is this?
I think it was $4,500.
$4,500.
And I'm telling you that market, and isn't that a Lariat when it has the fake wood paneling? I think that's a Lariat, possibly.
Usually they say it on the dash.
Yeah,
like right
maybe
in
I'm wrong.
here.
But like the dash isn't even all hacked apart.
No,
someone put
power
it out.
windows.
Yeah, I bet that's a Lariat.
Lariat.
How cool is that though? For $4,500.
It's got red calipers too.
Well, that means it's a race car.
Yeah,
When you
race
paint
truck.
that race truck, yeah. I just think when you see something like that, that fender looks a little rough.
Red drums.
Oh, double race truck. To me, I think the bullnose market is going to be the next. It's already becoming a thing. There's so few of them. I looked at this and went like, that is something you should like buy and store it away for a rainy day.
Yeah, when you have that extra time.
Yeah. Oh, yes, time. But no, Colin said money first, so you afford it. Wait, now I'm getting confused. Yeah. I don't know where you do with that one, but that right there is when I thought, I told Kim, like, this would be a cool truck. Love or hate flare sides, step sides. Love or hate them, that thing looks cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Even if you were to make it a 4-wheel drive and lift it.
Yeah. I would probably go low on that. I think a flare side.
In the weeds.
Yes.
Yep.
Just on air, lane frame, and probably some big wheels.
Colin, what's your aspect here?
Yeah, it has to be low.
Okay. Low it is. Next one. Let's hit the other one I sent you, because there was one that was really great description, and the first like couple pictures just shows dents.
Okay. Let me see. Is it?
No, this one's. Is it this one?
It's either that one or
I think it's this one.
putting a feeler out there.
Smooth, no dents. Okay, click on that one. No dents. Look at this truck here. I love this script. Okay, for people that aren't watching, it is what was that thing? 97.
95.
95. Okay, because I'm always looking at crew cab trucks, right? So what we have here is it's a 95 F350 crew gas, and it says driven 190 miles, blah, blah, blah. Putting feeler out there. This truck is super clean, and I love it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend some time and check this thing out.
Yeah.
It runs and drives nice and smooth, no dents, almost all stock, everything. I do believe it needs brake booster replaced, and as the brakes work great, but the pedal won't come up by itself. Now, here's what cracks me up. Nice and smooth, no dents. Scroll that. Keep going. Now I'm like, okay, not bad. It looks a little bit. The freaking dent on the back of the tailgate, dude. Look at that thing.
Yeah, big old one.
What are like, and the panels coming apart on it, on the back of the tailgate. I'm just like, people say no dents. What the hell is that supposed to be, right?
It means
no major dents? Almost no dents.
No dents.
It's not a bad truck.
It's not bad.
Wrong seat. Well, that's the wrong back seat too.
Is it?
Yeah, see, it's got the headrest on there like that, and it's not. That's the wrong,
that's a front seat, huh?
Yeah, I believe so. But I just thought, like, working on it, like a picture of it all tore apart. Like, if you're gonna post stuff for sale,
yeah,
like, why would you post a video of it being the engine being torn apart? I'm just wondering.
I wouldn't.
No,
but
I just thought it was funny. Like, yeah, super clean, no dents. Was like the first couple of pictures shows like.
And this color is kind of rare.
Think so?
I think so. I still haven't gotten that guy to sell me that crew short that I found that we've talked about for like over
forever.
a
That's
year.
right. I forgot about that truck.
Yeah, he won't sell it to me.
All right, what's the last one I sent
Last one is, let me switch screens to, I think the 97. Yep. Okay. It is located in Vacaville, California. 97 F350 XLT, asking $25,000. Do you want to read the description?
First thing, give me a picture of this one. I can't remember why I sent it to you.
I mean,
oh, that's right. Okay. This thing's fucking cool.
This is
cool. So I think someone else sent this to me. So what we got here is a 97 F350. This is one you have to pay attention here if you're not watching the videos here. F350 single cab short bed ZF6 swapped with a new clutch flywheel, lowered on DJM beams, and has helper bags in the rear. Rides smoother than a stock truck, comma. Interior has been completely swapped out with factory dark gray and modern insulation installed. Insulation installed. The motor, commas would be nice here, or periods. The motor makes around 450 to 500 horsepower. The truck is very reliable and gets an easy 20 miles a gallon. There's a bunch more done to this truck. Making a quick ad, not in a rush to sell. This thing is cool. Oxford white. It's a single cab, short bed. Does the door look like it's not matching the white?
Yeah, there's something funky. The paint is not perfect.
No, paint's not perfect, but what someone did is they took an F3. It says a 350.
But the badge is a 250.
Yeah, so I don't know if they took an F. You know what? That might be a different fender.
That's what it is.
It's a different fender. So what they did is they took an F350 long bed, chopped it down, put a short bed on it, and lowered it.
On factory Alcoas.
And it looks cool.
And they swapped a ZF6 in it.
Look at the picture. This is the coolest picture right there. They have a picture of it, this short bed, which would look like a half-ton truck, which is on 1-ton running gear, technically, pulling a trailer with a white Bronco on it with welds.
Weld super singles.
That right there is a selling point.
Yeah. Then, what is that, an old Dodge?
I don't know what those old cars are, but it is. I thought this was I like how, the exhaust coming out the side with those duals that are big. I was like,
I don't like it.
That's kind of unique, right?
It needs paint work.
It does.
Got the ZF6 in it.
I bet it's fun to drive. I bet it's fun to drive.
Intercooled e-fuel, S&B intake, ZF6 swap, Mishimoto radiator. Yeah, this thing's super cool.
Isn't that? And it's not lowered so low that you couldn't use it for work stuff.
Yeah.
And it's on stock Alcoas, like you said.
Yeah.
It's just a very cool looking truck. I find that unique because you don't see that yet.
No.
But you might coming up here pretty soon.
You see it more in this area.
You might start seeing people buying like the truck I bought, that 3/4 ton long bed, 2-wheel drives. You cut the frame, you find a short bed for it, and now you got something really unique. That might be a thing, and you could tow with it and, do smoky burnouts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I dig it.
So
that brake fluid needs a little change.
It's supposed to be like that. That's factory.
It is factory, probably.
Anyway, so that's what I have for Marketplace. We could do a real quick, just hit the Marketplace real quick.
Oh, just our
normal shit show.
Okay.
I don't know where do you want to hit? Do you want to hit the?
I have something for this.
Okay, let's hear it, Colin.
So your idea of the dart at a map was it's a great idea, but it's very hard to execute on a podcast and probably fairly dangerous for somebody in here.
Okay,
but I have a random city generator here. There's no frills. I just hit randomize and it picks a different city.
I like it. Let's do this.
And so if you just tell me when to stop, I'll stop and we'll just do that.
Ready, stop.
Yonkers, New York.
Yonkers, New York. All right. What are we looking for in Yonkers? What do you think the Toyota Tacoma market's like there in Yonkers?
Should we just go off of the old Marketplace algorithm?
Yes, let's do that. I like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the Land Rover catches my eye. I don't know why.
It's because of the chick sitting in the front seat.
There's like a Land Rover with a chick in it, and it's like no top on it. European Royal Golden Luxury Toilet. You don't see that in Lynn County.
No, that's an East Coast thing.
Okay, the OBS over to far left. Should we check on it?
All right, so this is... Oh, yes. Love to see this. 96 Ford F-250 Super Cab long bed, asking $20,000 in South Plainfield, New Jersey. And the very first thing when you click on it is a video of it just blowing smoke
all over the place.
All over the place out of the 2 semi-truck stacks in the bed.
Oh, I didn't see 2.
Clouding out the road.
That's a great selling point. If I'm looking for,
love to buy trucks that just constantly blow black smoke.
That's a great selling point. Has it been overheated? Nope. Does it EGTs ever?
Cylinder walls been washed down?
No. Has the EGTs ever spiked? Nope. Nope. Like, wait a minute.
I drive this thing very conservatively.
Yeah, it's never towed anything or done a single burnout.
Okay, let me read this description. Don't need to sell, but thinking about it. Absolutely custom. Been my babe since I was 16. All work done by me. Way too much to type. Serious inquiries only. Please, I'll answer questions in person, preferably. Chrome and powdered built 7.3. KC Stage 2 turbo and injectors and ARP head studs. Stage 2 ATS auto trans. AirDog fuel pump. CNC Fab H-Pop fuel line kit, tuned by Jelly Built, 08 F250 axle swap, 5-inch lift, 37s, has some rust in the bed wells and the cab in a section under the extended cab, custom interior with heated seats and aluminum trim pieces.
Ooh.
Touch screen radio and sub red watermelon interior lights.
I love those.
Amber
Yes.
underglow and marker lights. 30-penny light bar in bumper. Horn blasters under truck.
Gotta have those.
Does not come with the toolbox
Damn.
or the edge display or one piece of dash trim. It's custom engraved and I'll be keeping it.
Custom
boy.
and okay, let's see the pictures of this thing. Wait, can we ask one question here? What is a chrome and powdered built 7.3?
I don't know.
Colin, anything on that one?
I think he's just talking about the finish.
Oh, okay.
So he's powder coated parts and
chromed
chromed
them.
parts.
Got it.
And
Got
it's
it.
built because it has a stage 2 drop-in turbo with injectors and head studs.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with a girdle. It doesn't have anything to do with like its
Rods,
rods.
pistons.
Yeah, it's just those are OG still. Okay. all
I'm
right.
guessing.
Okay, I see where this is going. Oh.
Pictures. We've got the fancy back rack that has your construction workers light bar.
It's also got the siren, like I would always say, I would say tow truckish light bar kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
On top. Okay, so if you need to pull someone over, you can do
Yep.
that. Oh, the valance with all the lights, that's a game changer. It's got this it's got the factory. I always thought those were half-ton valances you see on the stock bumper, but he's got installed there. That must be the penny lights he talked about.
I think
the
so.
30 of them.
30 of them.
30 penny lights across the bottom of the bumper.
Does that say Peterbilt?
It looks like it does. Maybe he's a truck driver.
Maybe.
Now he's got a Boingy spring under the front. What are we talking for suspension
That's the
here?
08 axles.
Oh, it's 08. Oh, that's right. Okay. And okay, this is getting interesting. Okay.
Are
Oh,
those semi super single
yes.
wheels?
Which okay, it's not the worst thing.
No.
It's bordering on bro truck.
It is.
yeah.
Yes, I think you're right, Colin. Got Sky's deal there.
Skies stuff.
Okay.
Ooh, it has fancy pedals.
Do you know what? That's what you do when you wear the pedal out. You don't just
300,000 miles.
That's right. You do a
Yep.
fancy race pedals. Okay.
That's what you need.
Oh man, this thing is
Ooh, it's puffing some smoke out the stacks.
well. It's a semi truck, bud. Okay, all tore apart the front end.
Yeah.
Okay, outside I like it.
Yep.
Interesting.
Axles going in. Super Duty seats with cat floor mats.
Damn.
Is that an OBS center console?
Yes, it is. Looks
arm?
like it is. Yeah, it is. They used. Actually, you know what? It doesn't look bad. Okay, I'll hand it to them. They took looks like 99 to 04 Super Duty seats, and then they had the center console wrapped in the same material and left a stock center console. It looks good. It doesn't look bad for the seats.
It's not terrible.
No.
What do you think of the titty lights for your
I
dome lights?
I don't have anything good to say about that, so I'm not going to say anything.
I feel like those are supposed to be on the outside of a semi.
Well, they're red, so it doesn't ruin your night vision when it's on.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know, if you were hitting some serious whoops, your head might hit those. And it would suck.
Yeah, that would
If
hurt.
you're the person in the center.
I want to see this thing at night.
No, I want to see the the custom engraved. Okay, check out the. This one hurts. Check out
Is
the
that
lights.
purposeful blood spatter, or is that just that it's like wearing out?
Blood splatter. Maybe they named the truck that. But check out the your lights on the door. Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that?
Oh, and it's lit underneath the handle too into this zone.
Oh, the truck's name is Ruby.
It's Ruby.
Oh, that makes total sense now.
So that's his custom engraving that's on the
Door-
dash then too. Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That
I'm
makes sense.
guessing these were red door panels before?
And he painted it silver. Is that what's going on?
Keep scrolling. This is getting good. We gotta get to the bottom of this. Oh,
It's intercooled.
it is intercooled. That's cool. Yeah.
It's trailered.
Yep. Oh, and where's the custom engraved center or the dash thing? That's what I was
he can't
looking
show
for.
you. He's keeping it anyway.
I want to see that. Well, that's
Ruby is for sale.
damn. Gotta let Ruby go.
That's hard.
That's hard.
Oh, it's got a Cal induction hood and a Lund visor.
Makes sense. That makes. I mean, why
It
wouldn't
has every bolt-on chrome or shiny piece that you can get.
What do you bet this person owns a semi truck or is a truck driver?
Maybe a truck driver. I don't think they own a semi truck. If they are doing the axle swap in
yes,
that location,
yes,
where do they park their semi truck?
good point. And to capitalize on it, like why would you have, if you have one smokestack, you should probably have two,
Always.
right? So that makes sense now.
Yeah, he's got two.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on that. I've learned something today.
Yeah.
Usually you see one smokestack, right?
Yeah.
But this guy's rocking two.
Yeah, that's how you
Game changer.
That's how you know.
That was good. Colin, that was good. We gotta do one more in this area. That was good.
I mean, my eyes are really drawn to this Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini.
The Lamborghini
V10.
for $3,500.
Just the wiring harness.
Okay, Lamborghini performance wiring, or just the harness is $3,500.
Performante.
Dang. Okay, click on it. We gotta know now. It's just the harness. Does it come with the engine though? Shows the engine in a box.
Picture is an Evo engine. We swapped out the Evo engine for a Performante engine and left the wiring harness out. Great condition. Don't waste my time.
Okay, I won't.
Should we waste his time?
We should waste his time. Hey, and you know what you do is you ask how much the engine is in the picture.
Yeah.
Does it come with the engine?
Does it come with the engine?
Okay, we gotta wait. Go back. Go off the toilet. The toilet's interesting, but what is the six for a 2020 plus 6.7 long block? That's kind of interesting. It looks new.
Yeah. Power stroke.
There's
Brand new.
For what, $5,000 for 44 for like $4,500? Really?
54.
54. Sorry, I'm backwards here. That seems way too cheap.
Well, he's got two of them, so he's got a surplus.
And it's apparently being sold by the guy from Ozark, Marty Bird. So,
It doesn't sound suspicious at all.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
these aren't stolen.
Maybe we should focus on OBS trucks. Wonder what the weld wheel market is like there.
See, this is
Corroded.
Corroded. You're right. Not much left of them. There's your Dodge Viper, John. I know you've always wanted one of those.
Oh, yes.
I know you want that.
Yeah, let's see.
OBS, there you go. Century, okay.
Wow.
Wow, it's not bad. There's
an expensive Centurion.
Yeah, $45,000 for a brick nose Centurion with 73K. Should we hit that just to look at it?
Yeah, this may need to be our last.
With a Warren front bumper on it. Now,
okay, there's a video of it
Proof it drives, yeah.
Proof it drives.
Oh, there's a YouTube video too. It's a 1990 Centurion F350, which if anybody out there is actually looking for a Centurion project, hit me up.
I thought you have two of them, don't you?
No, just one.
Okay.
Grant has another one.
It has a 460 gas engine, of course, 4-wheel drive. Very rare, it says. They were a special vehicle built by Centurion Vehicles. Centurion Motors converted standard Ford trucks into custom models. In this case, the Centurion F350 was based on the Centurion F350 is based on the F350 Super Duty pickup. The conversion includes a few different modifications, most notably related to the body style and trim. Here's an overview of key features and specifications for this 1990 Centurion F350 with a 460 engine and a 4-wheel drive. I purchased the truck. Oh my gosh, that's a lot to read. I purchased the truck from a couple in Idaho who used it in the summers. It currently has 73,000 original miles, and I'm now driving it weekly. Engine performance, 460 engine, of course. Horsepower around barely anything to 230 to 245. Torque. Oh, dude, this guy's got all the numbers here. It goes through all of the specs, all the stuff that you could read off of any build sheet, which I'm not going to
luxury features.
Oh,
wood trim accents.
That's a big one. Like it says technology.
Yes.
Technology. It reminds me of Daryl and Brendan off of Step Brothers. Technology. So, technology for a 1990 model. This truck has the basic in-cab technology, including air conditioning. I added modern amenities like Bluetooth and backup camera, off-road and touring capabilities. I feel like this guy's an engineer. I'm going to say it right now. I feel like he's an engineer.
This guy's detail-oriented.
Yes, big time. Like, he is nailing it. Like, we have the people that don't nail it, and then this guy goes overboard. This is the other end of the spectrum. Look at how long this is.
Performance, handling, fuel economy.
Hey, fuel economy should just be none.
Yeah.
Engine log.
This has got to be copy pasted off of like the Wikipedia page or something, and then he's just like adding his little notes with it.
Engine longevity. So okay,
parts
people.
Availability.
If you're not watching this, so what he's done, we're reading. He has like keynotes. So it's engine longevity, and it has, like we said, fuel efficiency, and he has these whole things underneath each one of these.
This is a Chat GPT written ad.
Oh, I bet I could be
guaranteed.
Are we gonna see more of this shit?
I use it.
Not like this, I hope.
No.
This is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so to the pictures.
It's got a Warn Enforcer front bumper.
You know what's cool about this is it has a cool logo on the side, or paint scheme that I've never seen before. It's definitely unique.
Yeah. And it's the C350, so it's got the Dana 60, should have a Dana 60 front axle.
Ooh, definitely.
Wow.
It's the strip club red inside.
Man.
Right?
There's red and then there's red.
No, that's strip club red. That's its own color, dude. That's the seats you sit in the strip club. That's that red. But
look at the luxury.
Could you imagine the guy that's building the center consoles and the head and the overhead consoles? There's one woodworker in there.
Oh yeah,
staining wood and stuff.
Yes.
Isn't it funny?
Lariat.
Isn't it funny that brick noses had lariats, but arrow noses did not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's clean.
It's not bad.
No, and it doesn't, rust-wise, doesn't look horrible.
And it's from Idaho, so that's to be expected.
Right. Hopefully it didn't spend much time in New York area. I mean, they did chop up the dash. It looks all there.
Oh, it's got a CB.
The Cobra CB of that.
Mounted in the overhead console.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
The center console, I love, okay, back then, those hinges were also found on yachts, your kitchen counter.
Oh, yeah.
You can find those hinges on all kinds of stuff, right?
Those
Kitchen
are on
like
my
hardware.
kitchen cabinets.
Kitchen cabinets, that means, yes, thank you. You might find them on a gate. Someone cheaply built a gate to keep your dogs in. Might find them there. So.
Classic.
The rockers look good. Like, this paint's not scuffed off on the rocker. Getting in and out.
It appears to run good.
That's a large number for a brick nose.
Look, I'll sell you an arrow nose with a power stroke in it. The conversion has been started. It is a massive project, but for $6,000, you can have a Centurion that does not have any rust.
Come on down to John's Used Cars. We get you going.
You can spend $45,000 on this one.
But if you look at the spec sheet, I'm sold on this just with a spec sheet.
This one you can drive.
I would talk to people and go, let me talk to you about the technology in this vehicle. You bring out the scroll.
Got a printout for it.
You're like, here's the printout of my technology and then fuel efficiency and like.
And let me show
you. You don't have that on yours.
All the luxury.
You don't have that on yours.
No, mine has currently zero technology in it.
Use Chat GPT to tell you about yours and see what it comes out.
I could. Yeah, that one.
That's good stuff.
It's rough.
Well, I mean, on that note, should we end this shit show?
Yeah, I think it's time.
I think so. I hope you guys enjoyed our lovely show today. Colin, thanks so much. You're more of a help than you know, getting us through this. So, any last words, John? Like, subscribe, and follow. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah, just do all the things.
Do all the things.
Send it to your friends if you think it's good, and feel free to send us topic ideas.
We love your topics and your questions. We are doing a better job getting to them, and the more you give us, the better we can do at reading them, or that.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. I'm Devin with OBS Solutions.
I'm John with Carrot Customs, and you're listening to, or you have listened to the Truckery podcast.
Or seen. You've also seen too. It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So it's on YouTube now. So you've seen it as well if you watch that stuff.
Over and out.
Thanks, guys.